Race 2 for the GT1 NZ class, lining up on the grid here at the ITM 400. It's a reverse top 10 from the finishing order from race number 1, which is run by Ross Thurston. Dwayne Carter was second, Harry Dodson third, Craig Corliss in the 4th position. So the quicker boys, Mark, have got a little bit of work to do here traffic-wise as we await the lights to go out for this race start. This could be entertaining on a drying track, but it has just started raining again, just to keep everyone on their toes.
John Ray's obviously got that car repaired because he's trying to make amends. The Carter's car very slow off. Ross Thurston, there we go, trying to use that four-wheel drive advantage.
And it's Raymond Hart getting through to the early lead, understeer into the front. Harry Dodson's got an absolute flyer in the later model Godzilla GTR. That's Ian Booth in the supercharged quad-cam Toyota V8 powered Toyota Altezza. He's to the outside. Thurston, though, bursts through as well, and he gets by Harry Dodson. That was Brian Gray getting to the inside, I think, of Tony Stewart's. No, in fact, that's Kester Olin Crowder making contact there with Craig Corliss. So this could be busy.
It's going to be very busy, isn't it? Of course, the difference in car speed between these guys, you know, could be 10, 15 seconds in some instances, so they're just going to be very tentative for the first couple of laps. All the faster guys make their way through, because there's no point trying to drag race someone coming into the chicane in turn 4 when you know you can't get back to the apex. And what we saw was Thurston back out of that a little bit.
But John Ray's got an absolute monster start. He's worked his way through more than probably half the field in that opening lap.
Right, so obviously they had enough parts to repair that. You're right, he's already up to 5th place. Probably about to take another one, I dare say, in the run into turn 6.
Yeah, Mark just getting a call from Race Radio as Ross Thurston goes to work on Raymond Hart that Dwayne Carter and the Carter's Tyres number 19 Ford Falcon supercar has been assessed with a time penalty for a false start, so he'll carry a 5-second penalty for the majority for the rest of this race.
Now that's what we saw, as we saw him very slow off, so maybe he took a bit of an early run, decided to abort it, and then the lights turned green while he was stopping. But either way, we've got a battle up front, Ross Thurston. We know that car is very quick around the corners. It's also got a bit of speed in a straight line, but look at the battle behind. Here go John Ray down the inside. So, oh, look at the car speed he's got at the moment, gosh.
Well, standing down at this part of the track on Friday in testing, we saw speeds of 250 kilometres an hour from the likes of John Ray and Nick Chester, who sadly hasn't been able to contest the first two races of the weekend so far today for the GT1s.
No, he hasn't for whatever reason. Either way, still fantastic racing here. This is a good battle. Starting to heat up.
Yeah, Raymond Hart.
Just getting a bit impatient, isn't he? Starting to move to the left, move to the right.
He's certainly filling Hart's mirrors. Raymond Hart in the backflips clothing sponsored older Skyline Godzilla.
Now, what's Ross going to do? Ross is going to have to concede this, because you can't win a drag race when you come into 4 chicanes in precision.
Oh, side by side down through to the chicane. It didn't work.
Ah, now, Ross, let's go to the judicial voice. What are you going to do about that, guys? Because he did cut the chicane, didn't actually get an advantage out of it, so now it's one of your own.
If there's some of the NZB8 boys watching this racing on the monitors in the pits, they'll be having a slight chuckle, because Ross is one of the stewards that makes the race calls. And we've already heard one of those race calls. In fact, with that false start for Carter's car, it was outside of his start box before the race start. Not so much of a jump start as Thurston.
Oh, look now, look who's becoming a big contender in this.
John Ray
in that red car. Of course, we saw it happen in the early incident in race 1.
Yeah, Paul Williams spun and John Ray left with nowhere to go collect him. That team's done a miraculous job to turn that around. I thought it would have had a lot more damage. That would have been pretty tricky to turn around in the time frame that they've had as Thurston goes to the outside. Yeah. Hard, it's a side-by-side drag race, but here comes the Corvette. Which way does John Ray go?
Can't do anything, actually, because the two guys, he's going to stay there. He's going to mix it in. He's mussing his way through.
And outbraked himself.
Ross Thurston's going, well, hang on, I've just taken the lead here. Oh, Raymond Hart, he doesn't know what to think. He's just dropped back one place.
I don't know that I've ever seen a Chev Corvette Trans Am drafting a Nissan Godzilla on a straight.
Or it's a Evo for that matter, but either way, he just kind of moved. Look, both those guys got out of his way. They thought, well, if he's mad enough to come down, he's mad enough to execute it too. That's exactly what we saw.
Well, JR's certainly got some pace. He's just set the fastest lap at a 1:37.2. Thurston at a 1:41.
Is that 4 seconds a lap quicker?
Compare that to the first race earlier on, it's certainly a lot drier than it was for their first race of the weekend, which was just a teeming rain. Thurston climbing all over the curbs. He's got the race league looking for 2 for 2 from the weekend, but John Ray, he's a-coming. Craig Corliss.
Yeah, the tyres squealing in the background. One thing that we're seeing now that we didn't see in the first couple of laps is the The windscreen wipers are starting to work overtime with these guys, so the rain has returned on this particular part of the track anyway.
There's Dwayne Carter going through. He's got a time penalty for a false start at the beginning of this race. Andy Greenslade in the Sonata Jag. Malcolm Udian behind him in the Dodge Viper. So Thurston almost four-wheel sliding, four-wheel drifting through that part of the race circuit.
On the very front of Ray, on John Ray's car, the left front when he turns, there's maybe the bodywork's a little bit loose or there's a disconnect somewhere, but it just looked like something was moving and turning in the wheel, or the bodywork maybe not working in unison, but either way, he's still got a fair bit of car speed. But
Thurston with a 1:36.45 sets the fastest lap of the race. John Ray at a 1:38.4, and a little bit of traffic to contend with on that last lap when he was trying to split Thurston and hard down into turn number 1. So now John Ray's got a little bit of clear track ahead of him. You've got to hear this car to believe it. Boy, does it pull some RPM, and just seamless gear shifts as it's sequential shifted.
Thurston is actually managing to get a four-wheel drive car slightly sideways. But look, early in the weekend when we saw this car actually go down to pit lane, the guys had the spare tyres and it had tyre warmers on it, and the tyre warmers are actually warm. So look, they've got all the technology that the Formula 1 cars are using, so it's got everything in its favour.
Mark, you picked up something on the left side of the bodywork of John Ray's Corvette. Thurston's clattered into the first tyre bundle.
John Ray just does it in sympathy as well.
It's done an intercooler. He's got fluid out the right front corner.
I think that's actually more than it's an intercooler. That looks like radiator venting itself as well. But what it's going to do for the guys behind, if that's antifreeze, it's like trying to run on an ice skating rink.
Oh, well, Ross Thurston's race is over. John Ray takes over the race lead. We're just about to say to John Ray, he's got a little bit of race tape, I think, on the left side of the bodywork.
There's a huge gap back to the next gaggle of cars.
Ross Thurston's got bigger damage to the right front corner.
He's limping home.
Oh, well, that's undone a good start to the weekend with the race 1 victory for Ross Thurston. Here's the replay, the Peak Antifreeze replay. Just got too much of that second bundle.
He did. Now John Ray he actually hits the second chicane quite hard as well. Here we go.
Here's the front on view, and it's again raining here, but he's just misjudged that run through the second part of the chicane. So John Ray now leads. What a comeback for him after a big smash in race number 1.
He's going to look in the rear vision mirror and wonder if he's actually in the same race as everybody else, because we go back a long way.
Same race or same postal code? Craig Corliss is in the second position with Harry Dodson in third, and that's where Harry finished in the second race. Corliss with a 4th place finish. So this is an ex-genuine supercar. This is an ex-Brad Jones Racing AU Falcon supercar. It's recently been repainted in the Aussie Mail supercar colours that was last run by John Bow, imported into the country by the Carter brothers. They on-sold that car to Craig Corliss, who campaigns it now. It raced in Thailand in the GT Series last year, and it's one of the front runners in the GT2 Championship. There's Dwayne Carter with a pass on Brian Gray. Two very, very different race cars.
Either way, didn't really make the pass stick because they're coming a little bit hot. Now broke himself, run out of real estate. It's the apex by Golden Mile. And all that hard work is undone. As you can look down the inside of turn 2, but there's only a half look. Decided better of it.
The X-Ball Crookshank Racing Triple 8 chassis, now upgraded to Supercar Plus specs with a bigger wheel and brake package, sequential gearbox, 6-litre engine. Very, very quick car, but I don't know that you'd be having too much fun trying to get 700 plus horsepower down on this race surface at the moment.
Yeah, you're right, other people managing to do it, those, and other cars, so whatever setup they've decided to run today, not working for them.
Safety car is out. Ross Thurston not able to get back around to the pit lane, so we've got a safety car about to come out on this racetrack with still 6 laps left to go, and there's the sad side of the damage to the right front corner.
Looks like it's an oil cooler. Sorry, James, looks like it's an oil cooler as well. So what you're seeing there is actually what's left of the car. We saw in the earlier footage a whole lot of stuff getting bent out the side of the car. So you add that into the white lines, the slippery surface and everything down there, it's certainly not making it more favourable conditions for these guys to race in.
Gillette Motorsport and our friends at Citizen Watches and Maguire's are giving you the chance to win big this weekend.
Here is the Petters safety car picking up race leader John Ray. Race 2 for the GT1 NZs here at the ITM 400. Craig Corliss in the second position. Harry Dodson in third. Ross Thurston a DNF in race number 2 here after that opening race victory in race number 1 at the start of the weekend here in Hamilton. Again, Mark, just looking at the left side of the Corvette, just look at a little bit of bodywork, maybe race tape just flapping on the left-hand side. Actually, the left rear guard, too, I think has got some damage as well on the John Ray machine, which you alluded to earlier.
Well, if that's the only damage you got that's left over from race 1, then the guys have done a tremendous job, because that car did take a very big hit. say a little bit of race tape there. The magic of race tape can hold a lot of things together.
There's a fair amount of it on that left-hand side of that race car after that race one clashes. Again, this rain just continues to flitter in and flitter out. It's just, you can't read the weather conditions out there at the moment, and we're doing the team manager's heads in.
Well, as a driver, you either want it wet or dry, and these are the trying conditions, because you come into a corner one lap and it's dry, next lap's got a bit of drizzle, so you've got to recalculate how much grip you think there's going to be when you actually arrive there and how much grip the car's got to complement it. So, the fact that you don't actually have many of these guys being retrieved out of the concrete walls is just a testament to how well they're doing.
John Ray is your race leader, Craig Corliss, Harry Dodson. Cameron Jones is in the 4th position in the Hydrolink rotary-powered Chev Camaro Trans Am. That car with a lot of history. I think it won, certainly at least one New Zealand Trans Am championship with Paul Pedersen at the wheel. It was going back to the old, the Cat colours when it was in black.
That's right, the old Caterpillar days, so very good pedigree coming out of that car.
How cool were those cars to drive, Mark? I mean, you did a couple of seasons in Trans Am, going back to the might of the, you know, the Shell Mustangs and all that sort of stuff. You must have enjoyed yourself. Fantastic cars to drive. Absolutely insane. When you've got 650 horsepower at the mercy of your right foot, and when you accelerate, for the first time coming out of the pit lane at Pukekohe, I thought, what the heck have I done? And after the second lap, I thought, this is the best thing I've ever done in my life. And like you say, you just keep changing, you know, first, second, third, right up to 50, and they just keep accelerating. The biggest problem is the brake, because you go in and you're hitting the corners, you know, sometimes 186 miles an hour, and you've got to stop the old girls, and that's where the biggest battle is. So John Ray, the head of the queue here. A little bit of lap traffic in between a couple of the cars. Safety car will be in this lap, so looking for a restart. Lights are out on the Petters Sucrogen Holden safety car.
Safety car's done a few laps so far this weekend, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that'll be any different for the balance of the weekend, although the weather conditions are supposed to be improved for Sunday.